Oh, well, thank you, sir. And I was going to echo the same thing with Sergeant Workman here in the Navy Cross. That's incredible. I want to say happy birthday to all the Marines here today, November 10th. It's Marine Corps birthday. As a soldier, I will, my head goes off.
232 years.
All right. No, it's an incredible institution, and you should all have the pride that you have. God bless you all for all you do. Today is also my birthday, also. So thank you. Stay fun. No, shut up.
You should have.
Actually, the day I went to join, I walked to the Marine Corps office and I looked at a captain, and he said, "You think you're worthy of having the same birthday as the Marine Corps?" And I said, "I think I am." And he told me to get out of his face, and so I joined the Army. It's a true story. I joined the Army. I was like, "This guy wanted to beat me up. What's up with that?" I was real quick. I was a theater major in college, and to be honest with you, the theater is obviously, of course, the perfect conduit to the warrior ethos that the military pushes. I joined the Army Infantry in '99. Towers were up, everything was great, and towers fell, and I started to just obsess about my job as an infantryman. I was a non-commissioned officer, which is the thing I will take to my grave. I don't care about anything that I've done in the military other than being a non-commissioned officer. It's the greatest honor I've ever had, and I'm an infantryman second. But as an infantryman, I had 9 subordinates under my leadership and care, and I was their surrogate father. And as much as I love my 4-year-old boy, he's the world to me at the time. He's now 7. My wife, who's just everything to my life. I was in charge of 9 people's sons, and I made commitments to their parents, and I promised their children, I promised their wives that I was going to do what I could to deliver them. And so when Fallujah came, at the time, we got in country in February of '04. We quickly became the 911 of Iraq. Anytime there was an issue, they would send the Marine equivalent, like, for example, Najaf kicked off, the Marines would send their mechanized unit, we would send our mechanized unit. And so we kind of partnered together for Najaf, a couple fights in the Mosul area. But we were always moving across set plays. One of the and talking with the colonel here, and that was a brilliant, overlay of what was going on in Fallujah. One of the real brilliance that I think historians will see with men to my right here, the planning of Fallujah, I think the greatest testament of what today's leadership is the fact that I don't know how many recorded friendly fire incidences there were, but I don't believe there was one. And for that many kinetic operations to occur simultaneously and no one gets shot by themselves is a true testament to the professionalism of the field grade and the officer class that was planning Fallujah. It was a brilliant plan that will go down with some of the best urban, in my opinion, it is the greatest urban fight in our history. We had amazing Americans up here before talking about 3 Medal of Honor winners for the Idrang Valley. Fallujah right now has 5 nominations for the Medal of Honor. So in 40 years, we might be crusty and slapping each other around, but, we might very well have to say that about our generation. On November 10th, my birthday 3 years ago, I'm a size 36 long, by the way, in case you want to visit the gift shop on your way out. On my birthday 3 years ago, I was 29, and we walked into a city block, about 10 to 20 houses. The colonel was brilliant in describing what was going down. Just to give you a quick, we had a Fallujah brigade in Fallujah during the April offensive. I think it occurred right after the April offensive. A lot of the equipment that the coalition gave to the Fallujah brigade evaporated into the insurgency. Jersey barriers, which you see to serpentine traffic at your airports, are now in homes. Texas barriers that are about, 3 tons, used to put in place with cranes, are now on second stories of homes. It took me 5 people to move in my entertainment center into my house. How the hell a Texas barrier gets onto your second story is like Stonehenge. I don't know how they did that, but they did it. And I walk into my unit. Got notoriety because we lost my company commander, Captain Sean Sims, my executive officer, which is number 2 in a company, Edward Iwan, a man who I named my second child after, just a brilliant warrior from Nebraska, and my command sergeant major, Stephen Falkenberg. We lost them all to direct fire. in Fallujah, days apart, and that was extremely taxing for a unit to kind of go through. Sergeant Major Falkenberg was the first American direct fire casualty. Marines lost some men, I believe, with a bulldozer that overturned at the berm, if I'm not mistaken. But direct fire, Sergeant Major Falkenberg, our command sergeant major, was the first to fall. And at any rate, on November 10th, we walk into a house with bad guys in it. My boys kick in the door. The Askari district was known as the Soldiers District during Saddam's era. Some of these houses were upper middle class. Every house in Fallujah was built by, siege architects? I mean, it seemed like, yeah, they're fortresses. They're made by a paranoia society. When will the Ba'athist regime take us out next? Well, I'm going to build a house with gates and with, 18-foot Jericho walls. And so we walk in to the front door, and my boys do their job. 3 squads are inside of a house, and these insurgents unload with PKM belt-fed machine guns. That's 7.62 by 5.4, I believe, which is a little bit bigger than the 3.9 AK-47. But these are belt-fed. They're using a stairwell and a jersey barrier as a makeshift bunker in this house. We start taking casualties. My kids, my soldiers are screaming out for medic and for help. One kid got hit under the sappy plate under the vest. A couple kids were hit in the face. Glass and metal everywhere. And as my guys are screaming out for a medic, the insurgents start to mock their screams. It absolutely infuriated me more than I can ever, boiling rage. My kids are medic, and these guys are, medic, help me, mommy, and laughing at us. I turn the corner to look, and as the colonel said, I see this guy take a syringe with black fluid, I assume an opiate, jam it into his arm that's already belted off, with a normal belt, and his eyes start rolling back, and he's obviously drugging himself. They also had atropine and epinephrine, which the colonel was mentioning. We use for nuclear biological. This keeps your heart moving and helps you to avoid shock, and also if a Marine and a soldier put you down with 5.56, they're going to make you superhuman almost. So at any rate, these guys started unloading on our guys. I grab a saw, I suppress them to get the boys out, and at that moment, I know I would literally pray every day, Lord, test me. I want to take out a bunker. I want to be. That's why I joined the infantry. If you're going to join the military, in my opinion, you want to be the guy to jump out of planes and to kick down doors. That's what we do. That's the warrior class of all these great Americans that have come before us today in Korea, and that's what we do. That's our ethos. That's what we swear to do. I had a saw, an M249 saw in my hand, and I unloaded 200 rounds, and I panicked. I couldn't move my legs. I was scared. And as I ran out of ammunition, I saw these guys, the look on their face, and I ran out of the house. And as I'm shamed, as I'm dishonored, I'm thinking about what a liar and what a coward I am. And it boils me. I'm almost very close to just the lowest I've ever been in my life. Kids start to get hit by sniper fire from the roof of this house. We're getting guys near misses for the first time in over 3 years that I was leading these men. They looked to other NCOs for leadership. That broke my heart. That broke my heart. I made a decision to go back into that house with a journalist from Time magazine, which was a horrible mistake. But Michael Ware is a very brave man. He went in there. I remember right before we walk in the house, he's like, you know what, this is like taking out a machine gun nest at Iwo Jima. This is incredible. You can do this. I see the fire in your eyes. You're an American institution. I believe in you. And I'm starting to motivate myself. And I turn around. The camcorder's on the ground. He's running down the street saying, Sergeant Bellavia is dead. He's an idiot. He can't do this. What the hell is he thinking? So I was like, wow, I go from confidence to like no confidence whatsoever. I'm moving to the house with a buddy of mine, Staff Sergeant Scott Lawson. He gets shot in the shoulder as soon as we turn into the house. There's no way he can fight, and he's got a 9mm low on ammo.